Hey, Eric,
What?
do you want to hear a story?
Sure.
Well, too bad I don't have any stories. Because it's time to welcome the listeners to the Out of Capes podcast for the season finale of Flash Season 1, which is episode 23, titled Fast Enough. This is a weekly podcast that focuses on the CW's Flash series and other TV series.
Zzz.
I am one of the co hosts, Staffa.
And I'm Eric.
And the way how this show is structured is we will have a discussion on the episode Fast Enough, season finale of The Flash. After that, we're going to review and rate the episode. After that, we will review the entire season as a whole. Just share our thoughts of what we thought on the entire season.
Yes.
And then once we finish that segment up, we're going to do some comparisons with some other shows and season finales and such.
Because a lot of them are ending.
Yes. So let's get to it and start talking about that episode. I'm not saying last night's episode because we're recording this a little late, just one day late. It's because we had some scheduling issues, but we're here. It gave us some more time to think about the episode.
Yes. It just, the amount, this episode was probably going to be too long. So the amount of time we had to do this episode last night, we just didn't have the time to.
Yeah. So, Fast Enough. The Flash season finale.
Starring Vin Diesel.
Not fast enough? Too fast enough?
Fast enough, not furious.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. I mean, I'm gonna say this right now. I was not really happy with this finale.
Yeah.
Like this episode was very slow. It was not fast enough.
Yes.
Like it had lots of pacing issues. What was it? Like a good half of the episode was Barry like just running around with like a chicken with his head cut off.
Yep.
Just wondering what to do. And like it was just so it was so awkward the way how he's going around asking people for advice as if like he hasn't asked anyone else for advice. Like he talks to Joe, then he talks to his dad, then he talks to Iris, and like when he talks to Iris, he's like, "I need somebody to tell me what to do." It's like you just talked to two other people to tell you what to do. So
and your two father figures.
Yeah. It's like you're acting as if no one told you anything yet. And, in fact, three people told him what to do, if you want to include Eobard Thawne.
Yeah.
So it's like, I need to know what to do. It's like, come on, man. I mean, I've had times where I don't know what to do, and I want to think things over, but it's like the way how he's going about it is as if no one told him anything, and he's like going to everybody for the first time, confronting them about this issue.
Yeah.
That he's not told anyone about yet.
Yes.
And it's so wild that everyone is, well, not everyone, like everyone but Barry's dad is all for Barry messing up the timeline.
And Joe's like, well, I lied. Halfway through the episode, he's like, well, I lied when I talked to you the first time about it.
Mm-hmm.
So technically, I wouldn't say he was for it. I think he just lied because he just wanted to seem like he knew what he was talking about, and I don't
know. Barry messed up the timeline once, and he regretted it a lot when he did that. because like for everything he changed, something else bad happened.
Yes.
I mean, it definitely wasn't as bad as a hurricane destroying the city, but
A black hole.
okay, yeah. Well, I mean, the when he was with Cisco, like
Yes.
Cisco and his brother got captured. I mean, that wasn't as bad as a hurricane attacking the city.
Yeah.
But still, like he should have learned that, uh, when you mess up the timeline, like something else is going to happen. And he's not trying to change 1 day's worth of timeline. He's trying to change 15 years worth of timeline. He's trying to set up Flashpoint paradox.
Yes, that's the whole time when I was watching this was Flashpoint Paradox.
Yep. It's like season 2, Flash is going to be casted by somebody else because Grant messed up the Flashpoint paradox.
It would be a good lead into the movie then. Okay, let's get into the main thing is if Eddie killed Dawn, it would basically erase the whole series. It wouldn't just kill Thawne. It would, first of all, it would stop the particle accelerator from being turned on, thus creating the Flash. It would also save his mom, so his mom would be alive. Like the whole series would be different. And they acted like, oh, it just erases Thawne. That's it.
Yeah, it erased him and created a black hole, which I don't know if the black hole was a result of Thawne dying or
maybe I'm right, and the black hole is just it's racing everything that's happened for the past 15 years.
yeah. So I don't know. It was kind of weird. Also, Eddie kind of he didn't think things through. I mean, he could have like got a vasectomy.
Yep.
Like it's totally safe. He didn't have to die. Come on now.
No.
Like I know you sent me that what was it called?
The synopsis.
Yeah, the synopsis. I mean they made that joke, but like I thought the exact same thing when I saw that he shot himself. I'm like, wait a minute.
Actually, when I heard the gunshot, I thought of Flashpoint with the gun. I thought Eddie shot him in the head like in Flashpoint.
Oh, when I heard the gun, I immediately thought it was Joe.
Yep.
I was like, man, Joe, it's Trigger Happy Joe. What is he doing?
Oh my god.
Okay. Let's rewind for a bit.
Yes.
Let's talk about the very beginning of this episode.
Okay.
Eobard is captured off screen.
He was captured last episode. They just never showed him getting captured.
Exactly. He got captured off screen. He got captured in between the episodes.
And I still don't get the guy liner. It's like he's decided I'm not going to be Wells anymore, so I'm just going to wear guy liner and look like a punk rocker the whole time.
I don't know. But like it kind of annoyed me that he was captured off screen, like right off the bat. Like the last episode, which I mentioned, wasn't that great.
Yeah.
And they end off with, that standoff between Reverse Flash versus Flash, Firestorm, and Arrow.
Yeah.
And that like it was like they're hyping up this big battle that ended up happening off screen.
Yeah.
Like that was extremely disappointing. Why would you do that for your finale? Especially when like the main action that happened in the episode did not make up for what the fans wanted to see.
Yeah.
These three heroes going against this one big bad. Like, how did they capture him? Did they even like at least say one sentence as to explain how they captured him?
No.
He ran out of Speed Force.
I think it was when uh, Oliver shot him with the arrow. He went down. With the net. Oh, I forget exactly, but Oliver's the one that shot the arrow.
Wait,
Because
was this in the comic?
no,
Or because I know they have a comic that like happens each week too,
no,
right?
that's actually no. That's for what happened. I think that's yeah. But still, like I don't. I think Oliver took him down in the previous episode, and that's how they caught him. Like he shot him with the arrow, and then Wells went down.
The previous episode they just show Wells putting the suit on and then Flash and Reverse Flash run towards each other, and then the episode ends.
Yeah.
Like they didn't show Oliver shooting an arrow.
I don't know then.
I don't know. Like it's disappointing.
Okay.
So what else we got? Okay, we got Cisco confirmed to have vibe powers.
Yes, I have a vibe about it.
Cause what was it that Eobard said? I'm getting a tongue twister. What was that Eobard said that he can see the vibrations of the universe or something like that?
Yeah, so he's a meta.
Yep.
I was like, okay. Because I feel like this is going to get into like next season is going to get into like multiple like realities. And this is kind of going to be like the person to help explain it a little more and point it out. The guide, in a way. If he can sense vibrations in the time force, then
Cisco is going to be the most powerful superhero
yes.
because he can defeat Amazo, who is one of the Justice League's most powerful enemies.
Yes.
And he can do it just by breakdancing.
Yep. And then people are like, that's racist. And then the show gets canceled.
So, you know, they
No. It gets canceled like a week before it's supposed to premiere. Young Justice.
Oh, man. Okay, so, you know, they have the whole particle accelerator thing. They want to open a wormhole to infinite times. And Flash, Barry wants to save his mother, Nora Allen.
Yes.
And so basically, you know, he decides to go through with this mission. And let me screen share this real quick and show some of the visions that happen during this run through time.
Run through time.
Yeah,
Here's my thing. Why would they even like? He's like, "Well, make me a time machine so I can go back." I'm like, "Okay, sure." And then like, they build him the time machine, put him in it, and then like, I would even. Once I get to figure out how to do it, I just wouldn't even give him the time machine. I'd just leave him in the thing and wouldn't let him out. Like, clearly they don't. They could be like, sure, and just give it. That's all. They don't have to actually let him go.
You know. Speaking of which, you know, since you remind me of that, before we start talking about this, these flashes of time, these visions, how was Wells unable to get out of the cell? He has the ability to vibrate fast enough to phase through walls.
Yes.
Like we saw that he was able to do that when he killed Mason.
Yes. Also, he built the cells in a way, so I think he would know how to get out.
Like, how was he unable to escape? Or was he just sticking around because he wanted that big belly burger?
Probably, yes.
Like, that's one thing that they never even explained. How come he can not get it out? And two, they were turning on the particle accelerator while he's inside it, so shouldn't he have gotten fried? Like, wasn't that the
Exactly.
whole plot of the last episode?
Rogue Air, yes.
Like, they had to escort them out because they were gonna get fried and killed.
Exactly.
So that itself made the previous episode
And the
even
thing is
more
also
useless.
like you point out, like it would kill him. They let him out right when they're releasing the hydrogen thing. Or
Hmm.
no, they did afterwards. So yeah, you're right. He would be
So
dead.
let's get back to these visions
Sure
that I
thing.
have on the screen. So the first one we see Barry is locked up in jail. He's wearing the prison uniform. He has handcuffs. He's talking on the phone, through the prison thing. So, that could be like an alternate universe.
Or it could be that when he goes back in time, he actually touches the blade, so he's the one that goes to prison for touching or killing his mother.
Hmm. We see the Flash Museum. Self-explanatory. It's the Flash Museum.
Yep.
Just about anyone who's familiar with the Flash knows what the Flash Museum is. We see a vision of Legends of Tomorrow with White
Yep.
Canary, Captain Cold, and the Atom,
Yep.
aka Tony Stark. We have a vision of Killer Frost, which I didn't realize was Killer Frost at first. I just thought it was a blonde chick.
Someone actually posted how many people are gonna get confused between Killer Frost and Elsa if she has blonde hair.
There you go. What is this? Like, I can't even see this image. It's so dark. Joe West doing what?
I don't know.
I don't know. You sound far away.
I'm looking at the photo, my bad.
Okay. He has a vision of his younger self.
Yep.
Self-explanatory. He sees his mom dying. Self-explanatory. So, people are questioning if these are going to actually show up in the series. I think Barry in jail will. Legends of Tomorrow obviously will. Killer Frost, I think that will. I think those are actually,
They said
shots from the show.
They've actually said some stuff in the visions is like stuff that'll be addressed next season, and some of the stuff that's in the visions are just like future. Like they don't know if they'll ever appear. Like the
Flash Museum.
Yeah, like the Flash Museum. That's probably gonna be down the road.
I think that will either never show up on the show or like at the very last season they'll show it.
Yeah, because Flash Museum is for not just for Barry, but for all the Flashes. So,
So yeah, I'm gonna stop the screen share.
okay.
Yeah, I mean, he goes back in time and his older self tells him no, and it was really weird because he stops. I know that they're going super fast.
Yeah.
But
I can't tell how many times I've actually paused during this episode to see because they had such little Easter eggs that were only on screen for a second.
Despite them going super fast, older Barry still stopped, stood there, looked over at current Barry, told him no, and then got back to saving himself. The fact that he stood there for, however long that was, he was giving Eobard time to do whatever.
Yeah. Or that Eobard let him do that.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
So
the whole time I was like, Flashpoint.
Yep.
Flashpoint. So here's the thing, though. What if Flash went back there to stop himself and reverse Flash?
That's a possibility. I was thinking the same thing, that older Flash, knew that current Flash was going to be there to save his mom, and that's why he told him no. I mean, he looks directly at him.
Yeah. Like he knows. Also, he has the white emblem.
Mm-hmm.
The classic white emblem of Flash.
And the more bright red suit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
That was a heart-wrenching scene, though, for Barry just to sit there and like hear his mom die.
it kind of felt like all this was for nothing.
Exactly.
Because the fact, like, all he did was went back in time and relived his mother dying again.
But you got to say goodbye this time.
And like confused the heck out of her. I'm the Flash.
She got to go.
I don't know what
die
that
knowing
means.
that her son became a hero. Stop ruining such an emotional moment.
Why are you wearing a red suit?
Because I like wearing red. A red leather suit.
It's me, Mom. Barry. But you're a lot older than Barry. What's going on? You're confusing me. Can't you see that I'm losing blood here?
You get all woozy and you're like, my name is Timmy. Who's Barry?
Yeah, so we got to see the Easter egg of the Jay Garrick helmet, the hospital pan,
which was kind of hinted at in the Daniel Panabaker or Caitlin Snow AMA. She said they asked her, what is it? They asked her some question and she doesn't even answer the question. She goes, I'm just super excited for Jay Garrick. Like
they asked her what actor she'd want to work with, and she's like, Jay Garrick. He's my favorite actor.
Yeah. Oh no, something like totally different. She goes, oh no, I remember. She goes, what are some good Flash pickup lines? She goes, I don't know Flash pickup lines, but I'm really excited about Jay Garrick. Like, cool. It's like she has like a secret and she can't keep it in any longer.
Well, she's not Joe.
I know.
If it was Joe would have been like, I have nothing to tell you.
Oh my god. Joe was AMA. What's your favorite color? I'm not gonna tell you.
It's a secret.
It's a secret.
Yeah. So, they have the whole fight. So Barry comes back and destroys that time machine. I don't get why he did that.
He did it to stop Dawn from going to the future.
But weren't they letting him go back to the future?
Yes.
So why was he stopping him?
He's being a douche.
Like, I don't get why he decided. Like, so he decided to not save his mother, and because of that, he's like, okay, time to wreck this time machine.
Exactly.
Like, that made no sense. Like, how do you get from A to B to C? I don't understand that roadmap as to why he decided it's time to smash that time machine.
He had plenty of time left, so he's gonna go out and stop Wells from going to the future. He must stop at Wells at all costs.
He could have had everything he ever wanted.
Yes.
But he already has everything.
Be truthful, is he already messed up the storyline, the timeline, by saying goodbye to his mom. Yes.
Yeah.
So that would have changed everything right there alone, even if it's the smallest little thing.
Yep. So now we get to Eddie shooting himself because I'm the hero after all.
Yes. I'm gonna like, hey Iris, let's get married, and then not even a day later, I'm gonna kill myself to save the day.
Speaking of marriage,
yes,
Caitlin and Ronnie's marriage just out of nowhere, in the middle of nowhere. Why did they have? Like, I don't get why they decided it was so important for them to have a marriage so quickly, especially when the timeline is about to change because Barry is going back in time to change everything.
That's your answer right there. They loved each other so much that they were going to get married because they knew that if Barry goes back there and changes the timeline, they might not be getting married. So they wanted to get married right then and there that way. So they actually, they have the
But
they can be married for just a little bit. If
Caitlyn had enough time to get a wedding dress and get herself done, and no one else dressed up.
Nope.
It's easier for a guy to get a tux than it is for a woman to get a dress.
He wasn't even wearing a tux.
Yeah, he was not dressed up at all. She was dressed up. That don't make sense.
Kept making the stupid the firestorm inside jokes I'm nervous for the both of us, and I've been thinking about people's minds for a while. They just kept making these little jabs at Firestorm being two people. I was like,
hey,
get it over.
Like the kids say, it's gonna be legit.
Legit.
I like this Professor Stein. I
saw somewhere because let's make this into a Trini hashtag. Stein is legit.
Dude, if he keeps talking like that, I'm gonna look forward to DC's Legends of Tomorrow.
Yes, which is not. Well, I saw somewhere it's not even gonna premiere until January.
Oh, it is, man. January.
It's gonna be the mid-season. Which here's what I think they should have done.
So it's basically gonna be Agent Carter.
Yes. Here's what I think is what they should have done, which is have it premiere. I don't know, now. That way, during the off time, you have Legends of Tomorrow, and then you have all the shows. So you basically have a nonstop year of just the same universe.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That makes more sense than having it in the middle of the season when all three shows are working. Because they've actually confirmed that it's going to cross over with Arrow and Flash, but not Supergirl.
So, singularity starts happening. Black hole forms.
Yes.
Maybe because Eobard Thawne died and he did a lot of stuff to the timeline. So without him existing, the world is imploding. But
yes.
It's just like a tornado except upside down. So
yes,
just spin.
Okay, and when they both go through that wormhole. And Eddie goes to the wormhole, and he has the Reverse Flash ring on his chest. That's the weird thing. So some people believe he's going to turn to cobalt blue. And that also with timelines and wormholes and everything, Reverse Flash and Eddie are not going to die. They're going to come back somehow. Unless with Eddie they pull a Tommy and he's the only character that never that dies and stays dead.
I hope that this isn't the end of Eobard Thawne. It just seems like a anticlimactic ending for him.
Yeah. And
he was the most interesting character of the show. And it's where does the show go from here? Yeah, so that's pretty much it with the episode. Other than it just ends with such a cliffhanger. I don't feel like it resolved enough. It does not feel like a season finale. The main plot of the season does not feel like it's been resolved, and it just ended with a huge cliffhanger. Yes. The cliffhanger makes me want to watch more, but
how much money did they spend on that final scene of him running and going through, jumping from pieces of building upwards into the black hole?
That was kind of cool.
It was cool, and it shows how much money they have for CG.
Yeah.
So if that's the CG they have for season 1, how much money do they have for season 2?
That was some the TV. There was the TV version of the Avengers, the first Avengers movie.
Yes, but here's also, yes, the season finales, they do get a little more money from networks than they do for a regular episode. But still, that's a lot of money for that seed. So,
all right. So, anything else we want to talk about before we rate the episode?
I do know that Tom Cavanaugh's coming back next season.
Okay, that's good. I'm relieved.
They haven't just said what he's gonna be, so he might be back as just Wells, or he might be back as Reverse Flash.
Well, even if he just comes back as Wells,
Yes,
I think he's a good actor.
it helps with the dynamic of having that one scientist person who's like the mentor in a way.
Well, that what's his face? Stein.
Stein? Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
but
what I was thinking too. Like Stein could work perfectly too. I mean,
he's gonna be Legends of Tomorrow.
true. So who knows?
So you wanna go ahead and go into the rating?
Yes.
All right, it's your turn to go first.
Okay. This episode, and I talked to you about this, was I don't know. I didn't know which one was worse, the Arrow or the Flash one. And after thinking, I'm gonna have to say I'll give this episode a 9 or 9 out of 10 because
Man, you're rating this a lot higher than me.
I know I am.
A lot higher. I'm gonna be extra strict because of the fact that this is season finale.
I know you are. I'm rating it as a single episode since it was a cliffhanger.
But we go by fives usually.
I know. I'm going 9 out of 10 because it's the finale.
Okay, all right.
That also because it's that way I can do the 4. It really was a 4.5, but out of 5. But that way also I can do it not do that.
Man, I'm gonna sound like a hater now.
I know you are.
I mean, like, if this was a normal episode, if this was not the season finale, I would give this a 3 out of 5.
Yeah.
But because this is the season finale, I expect a lot more out of this. I expect a really good, satisfying episode. This was not it. I would give this 2 Eddie's shooting himself out of 5.
Here's the other thing too. For me, it felt like we constantly talked about how that we felt like it was on cruise control, right?
Yes.
It felt to me like this is the final episode of the season, so we're gonna throw in as many Easter eggs as we could possibly can in one episode. So like they're on screen for like half a second, and then like they just go on. By the way, Cisco's vibe. Oh, there's Killer Frost. Oh, there's Future Berry. There's this and there's that, and then a whole bunch of like Easter eggs and different things.
So why would you give this such a high rating then?
Because as an episode alone, it was good.
No, I feel like it was really had a lot of pacing issues. It was very slow compared to like some of the other really great episodes.
Fine then. You want me to reduce my rating? I'll reduce.
No. You could. It's your rating, man.
I know.
You can
give me crap about my rating.
You just made it sound like you weren't too happy about it, but yet you're.
I'm not saying I wasn't happy about it. I liked all the Easter eggs.
Okay.
And I just said it felt like it was a gigantic Easter egg episode.
Okay.
And that it was still a good. I mean, it was an episode. It was a good episode. There's worse episodes than this one.
Oh, I mean, I'll definitely agree. There have been worse episodes than this. This is not the weakest episode, despite me giving this the lowest rating out of all the episodes so far.
We really need to write down a rating for each episode.
Yeah, we need to record, like have a record of all the ratings that we give.
That way we can do an average.
Yeah, but I just feel like the rubric scale for a season finale, I should be a lot more strict because I expect a lot more for a season finale. I expect, a satisfying ending to a story arc, or some kind of a tease of the next season. And we didn't really get that. We got like a cliffhanger, and it feels like this story arc is not even close to being finished.
Okay, I thought about this and too about the whole cliffhanger thing too. Was this? Who's the main bad for the season?
Barthon.
Okay, And Eobard Thawne is the Reverse Flash. Who's the Reverse Flash to Flash? Like, what is he?
He is his nemesis.
Exactly. So, do you want to kill off and end the storyline with his nemesis in the first season?
No.
Exactly. So that's why it never does. It feels like the storyline isn't finished because it's not gonna be finished. It's gonna take multiple seasons to finish the storyline. It's like Batman. It's like watching a Batman series and they kill the Joker. Like, what are you gonna do then?
I don't expect them to kill off Eobard Thawne. I expect at least some type of resolution.
You're not gonna get a resolution with the Reverse Flash. He's been dead for centuries.
Hasn't been born for centuries. I don't know.
Oh, don't even start on this. He's like, you've been dead for centuries. Yet he's only 135 years old. Older than he was born 135 years from now, which means he's not. They haven't been dead for centuries. They've been dead for probably a century.
All right, so let's go into talk about the season as a whole.
Okay, then.
And since you reviewed the episode first, we'll alternate, and I'll review the season first.
Okay.
Overall, I would give this season 3 out of 5 singularities. I don't know. 3 out of 5 legit rabbis. And like if you were to ask me how I would rate the season, like I don't know, like 2 months ago, I would have said it would have been like a 5 out of 5, or a high 4 out of 5. Like yeah. I would have given it a much higher rating. But the fact is, like after, I think the Trickster episode was the last really good episode.
Yeah.
And after that, the season just dropped. It just flatlined and went on cruise control at that point, and was like, all right, we did a lot of really cool things. Let's just chill out for now and not do anything.
Not do anything. Kind of be on cruise control until like the final 2 episodes when we have to do Reverse Flash.
Yeah. So what would you say you'd give the entire season?
I would probably give it a 3 too. There was a lot of highs and a lot of lows in the season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it started off really well, and like there was just a lot of really good episodes. But
see, and here's the thing: I don't know if I've told you this. I actually have a friend who's watched Flash, and he quit after the 8th episode.
Oh, really?
Because he said it started getting stale to him. He said it started feeling like every episode was the same, and he quit watching the Flash. And he said like he has them DVR'd on his TV. Just he hasn't watched them.
Interesting.
Yeah, he actually thought it got worse like 8 episodes before we thought it got worse.
Yeah, I think the Trickster's episode was like episode 17 or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't have an episode guide in front of me. Maybe I should get one in front of me. Let's see. Flash.
I thought 5th, like Weather Wizard, when he changed the timeline was when it got bad. So I think 15 was when I got bad for me, where I got into cruise control.
Yeah. Okay. So 15, I thought that was an excellent episode. The Out of Time episode with Weather Wizard.
And then Rogue Time was 16.
Yeah, Rogue Time, I thought that was not a very good episode.
No. Tricksters was 17.
Tricksters, I thought was really good.
Yes.
And then after that, All-Star Team Up, that was just, I did not like it.
There's a crossover episode.
Yeah.
It seemed way too much like we have to solve how like Laurel gets her screaming arrow and how Adam gets his shrinking ability and get his suit to actually work.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it seemed like. To me, it seemed like an episode that solved Arrow plot holes. That's all it did.
Yeah. I oh man, like I feel like the season should be about 17 episodes long, 15, like somewhere about 15 episodes long. I think that's how long the season should be, because there's a lot of filler episodes, before um episode 15, which I feel like was the best episode. And like there's just too many episodes for them to try to stretch out the storyline. Like there's just a lot of filler, a lot of villains of the week.
They have Grodd. He was in there for 2 episodes.
Yeah, even he felt like a villain of the week. Like he was like a distraction for us.
Yes.
I feel like 23 episodes is just way too long. I would like to see them shorten up the season, and that way they would have more of a budget to, for more money for each episode, rather than like just try to have a really long season instead.
And the thing with me too is like the episodes. There was like each episode had one thing in it that actually helped advance the plot. But it was like one little thing that only lasted 5 minutes that they could put in a whole episode.
Yeah.
Shorten it down. Like the Rogue Air, all it did for me, it released all the people in the prison and gave Captain Cold the rogues.
Yeah.
That's all it did.
Yeah. Like that felt like a huge waste of an episode. Grodd Lives felt like a huge waste. Like
he jumps towards the screen and then nothing happens since then.
Yeah. I want to start comparing this to other shows. If
Sure.
All right, you ready for that? I know you don't really watch Agents of Shield, right?
I watched the first season, and I was thinking about actually watching the second season now that Flash is over and Arrow's over.
So the first season of Agents of Shield, it's like the first half was abysmal. I hated it. Like it was so slow. The budget looked like crap.
Which is worse, first season of Arrow or first season of Agents of Shield?
First season of Agents of Shield was definitely worse because of the fact that the first half was terrible.
Yes.
Like the worst of Agents of Shield season 1 is much worse than the worst of Flash season 1.
Yeah.
Like it was very difficult for me to watch through that first season of Agents of Shield,
and
the first half, and it was the only thing that kept me going was my friends telling me it gets better.
Yes, and the thing to me also was, like, I kind of got into this a little when we did the Arrow, was that like the first 7 episodes of Arrow were kind of like the learning period.
Yeah.
And Stephen Amell basically said if he could go back, he would redo the first 7 episodes. He said he would have a 7-episode buffer so they can figure out what they can and can't do doing a comic book show. And with Agents of Shield, the first season, it felt like they weren't sure how they were going to do this, like a whole series on something without bringing in the big name actors from the movies, if the movies and the show are connected.
Yeah.
Like they just weren't sure about it, so they had to come up with these like storylines that were somewhat related to the universe, but at the same time didn't involve big name people.
I mean, like episode 2 of Agents of Shield looks like it was filmed in my backyard. It was that bad.
Yes.
But season 2 of Agents of Shield, I feel like was a very solid season. I wouldn't say it was like an amazing season, but it was just very solid because every single episode progressed the storyline. There were like no filler episodes that I can really think of. Like it just had really good pacing. They were constantly pushing the story forward. A lot of things happened every episode, and the season finale it wrapped up the that story arc, and then there was like a little tease at the end as to what's going to happen in the next season, which a lot of people are like, holy crap, what's going to happen with that thing that just happened?
Yeah.
It was, I think it was just a really solid season 2 of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which, like I said, if 2 months ago, if you were asking me what I thought about Flash, I would have given it like maybe a 5 out of 5. And I definitely would have said that Flash was my favorite show. At this point, that now that Flash has wrapped up and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. has wrapped up, I would rate, out of my favorite like comic book shows, Flash is number 3 for me right now. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.'s number 2.
Yeah.
My number 1, Daredevil. Daredevil is something that happened within that time period of 2 months ago, and you watched Daredevil, right?
Yes.
I mean, I've said to you before that Daredevil is quality-wise better than Flash.
But the thing is, Daredevil is made for Netflix, so it had a better budget.
Yeah, it definitely does. But like,
and they can get away with a lot more stuff in Daredevil than they can on like a local network channel.
Yeah. I mean, like, I still would have said, like, when I watched Daredevil, I still felt Flash was my favorite because it was a very fun and entertaining show. But because of the fact that it kind of just went on cruise control, and they didn't go anywhere with it for a long time, that's what bumped it down on my scale of favorite comic book shows. And they're just, there aren't really any like filler episodes for Daredevil, because Daredevil's like, what, 13 episodes long?
Yeah, 13.
Yeah, 13. It's very short, condensed. They don't have any filler episodes, and they don't have like a million like plot holes that need to be explained that Flash was struggling to try to explain, like, oh, we feed the people with big belly burgers. That's how we keep them in these, these cells. And, oh, it's kind of illegal, but we do it anyways.
Yep.
I mean, like, how would you compare Daredevil to Flash?
Daredevil to Flash will be this. I started off with Flash not expecting how it's going to be, and then being pleasantly surprised by how good it was. Daredevil, like, I heard so much from you and Kevin about how amazing it was. So I went into Daredevil thinking it was going to be the most amazing thing ever, and I truthfully wasn't that, like, it didn't really live up to the expectations you and Kevin put for it. Like, it was good. It just wasn't like, oh, I got amaze balls.
Amaze balls? Is that like the sequel to Spaceballs?
Exactly. You know what I mean? Like, it was good, and I liked it. I didn't think it was like the greatest thing since sliced bread, like that you and Kevin keep acting like it is.
Oh, it's good. I like it.
Also, let's be serious here. You've always had a favoritism towards Daredevil. You've told me before Daredevil and before Flash that Daredevil was your favorite superhero.
Hey, I like Daredevil. I mean, I don't know if he's currently my favorite superhero, but for a long while he was my favorite.
You said he liked him because he lost he lost all the time. He failed all the time.
Yeah, it makes more interesting stories.
It does.
Like Superman always wins.
Let's be serious here. Flash is the most overpowered superhero of all time. You can go back and change time.
And then mess things up
and
with Flashpoint Paradox.
Exactly. He's the most overpowered.
Well, at least he made a mistake with Flashpoint Paradox. Exactly. Superman makes no mistakes. Like, when it comes to Superman, it's not whether he's going to win or lose. It is how he's going to win.
Also,
And
there's also a comic where literally he outruns death to the beginning of time and restarts the Big Bang to stop himself from dying. It's not Barry, but it's the Flash.
wow.
Exactly.
But like what I'm going with here is Daredevil. Like it's not how he's going to win; it's whether he's going to win or lose. And I think that makes it more interesting than how is he going to win.
Okay. So how do you feel about the guy who played Wilson Fisk?
I think he was. I think the portrayal of Wilson Fisk was the weakest part of Daredevil.
See, I agree too. Like,
He
I
just
think maybe
came off as a very awkward person.
Yes.
And I have picked out this wine that was picked out by my assistant.
Like, and also like he went multiple episodes without actually like having a name. Like no one would ever say his name, and
They never call him Kingpin.
no, they call him Mr. Fisk.
But I really liked Wesley though.
Yes. And then they try to like make him seem like this sad, lost character. I was like, he's a freaking villain. I don't need a backstory on why he's a villain.
Yeah, like
every villain has a traumatic childhood.
He's all right. Wilson Fisk is essentially supposed to be evil Batman. If you think about it, he's evil Batman because, like Bruce Wayne, he traveled the world. He got a bunch of training and studies and stuff like that. He came back bigger, badder, and with a vengeance. Yes. And so the fact that he's still like a broken child kind of takes that away from him.
Yeah.
But I don't want to like make this too much on Daredevil.
Also, the thing that bothered me was like we've talked about like Gotham's complete opposite of Daredevil, and what I'm going to get into, which is
we're going to get into Gotham. Let's talk about Gotham right now.
hold on. We'll be perfectly way into Gotham. Is that Daredevil had all these like references to like things in the Daredevil mythos, but they were never referred to by name. So unless you understand Daredevil mythos, you wouldn't understand that they're hinting at that.
Well, they also made
Chinese part was the hand. They did Immortals.
Mm-hmm. But they also made subtle hints to the other Marvel Cinematic Universe, and I think that was tastefully done. Unlike Flash and Arrow, who are like, whoa, we can finally make crossovers, so let's go nuts with it.
Also, okay, the first time it was done, okay, it was cool. It's a nice little nod. But now making every number 52 is getting old. A minute 52. He was on 52nd Street. This is DC 52. Okay, we get it. It's 52.
Room 52.
Exactly.
Cell 52.
Like, we get it. We get it. It's 52.
Hey, check out the Central City Rockets star player, the 52, number 52.
I'd be like, we can't find him. Where can it be? Just look for something that has 52 in the name. He'll probably be there.
Yep. But yeah, Gotham.
I
didn't even like. I quit after 5 episodes. I think you quit after the first.
I quit probably 10 minutes into the first episode.
Good for you.
And I have not watched it since.
From the stuff I've heard about the finale, it sounds like the worst thing that could ever happen to Batman. They might as well just bring in Adam West.
Yep.
And Arnold Schwarzenegger as Mr. Freeze.
If they brought in Adam West, I would have watched that though. I would actually watch Gotham then.
I mean, like they had Balloon Man, and there are people like arguing with me online saying, "Oh, Balloon Man is actually Professor Pig, who's a really cool character. So leave Balloon Man alone." And I'm like, he might be a cool character in the comics, but he's Balloon Man in this show, so
Yeah,
your point is invalid.
the whole series was
It was a mess.
it was a mess, and it
It
was
was a
probably the worst.
mess.
It was the worst comic book show.
Yeah,
I have no problem saying that.
unfortunately, Gotham is getting another season, and Constantine got canceled.
Constantine just got screwed over with the whole like where they placed it. They placed it on NBC on a
Yep.
Friday night at 10 o'clock at night. Who the hell is going to be watching that?
Yeah.
Also, it's about a cult. So
Yeah.
it's a lot of people aren't going to be watching that.
Yeah. I mean, I know there are people who are into that kind of stuff, that paranormal stuff, but I watched, I don't know, I think 3 episodes or so.
Yeah.
And it wasn't that I thought the show was bad. It's just it wasn't for me.
Yeah. It just wasn't for you.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not really into the paranormal stuff.
And I forget who it was, either Guggenheim or Kreisberg or Berlanti said they actually were thinking about bringing in Constantine for a crossover episode in season 4 of Arrow. Just to like kind of keep the character of Constantine and the actor in the universe.
Yeah.
So like he's going to be part of the universe, but he's just not going to have a show is what they are thinking they might do.
I remember
which I can kind of see him being in more Flash than Arrow though, because with him being that kind of stuff. But so yeah.
Well, Stephen Amell said that he would be interested in having a crossover with Constantine, since Constantine knows about the Lazarus Pit.
True. So,
Arrow, though.
Arrow.
What was your thoughts on that finale?
Oh
Or the season as a whole?
Oh my gosh. Going into the season, I was the biggest Arrow fan. And after this season, I don't know anymore.
You don't know what to do with your life?
I don't know. I mean, your favorite superhero is Daredevil. Mine was Green Arrow. And I just don't know. Like, it just, that finale. It was just it was like it was written by some horrible fan fiction.
Yep. I mean, first of all, they made a huge mistake by starting off the season by killing off one of the fan favorite characters.
Exactly, just to shoehorn Laurel, because Laurel's supposed to be Black Canary.
At least Laurel is no longer the worst character on the show.
No.
That is now Felicity.
Yes.
Because all Felicity does is cry and whine and cry.
Here's the thing, though. When we said Laurel was the worst character, it was because her acting and the character. Felicity is just the character.
I don't know about the acting. I mean, for me, as far as Laurel, I don't know if it's just if the acting is to blame, but definitely I think she's a poorly written character. She is always grumpy. She is always there to yell at Oliver, who is the protagonist of the show.
Yes.
She's always there to yell at him and get angry with him, and then she doesn't listen to anybody. She doesn't listen to anyone's advice. She does the opposite of what she's told.
Yep.
She learns that her sister's dead. She think Oliver is dead, who are the two best fighters that she knows in the entire world.
Yeah.
And her most logical conclusion is, I need to start that lifestyle myself.
I took a few self-defense classes. I know what to do.
I'm going to learn how to box.
Yes. Which I love how he was in one. He got like beat to a pulp, and then he was never seen again. Wildcat.
But Felicity, holy moly!
Where to start with Felicity?
Like she's always crying.
Yes, and just think season 4 is probably gonna be dealing with her.
Like, I know people are like, "Oh, I like Felicity because she's a smart character," and it's yeah, that's good that she's a smart character, but now it's like it's almost sexist the way how they made her character out to be, you know? She's
Yes.
defenseless and just cries.
This is what happens when you have a character that wasn't planned to be part of the story, and then people get a hold of it and become a fan character. People love her, and then they just elevate her to like levels, and then people now hate her.
Plus her innuendo jokes have gone overboard.
Yes.
Like at first it was subtle.
Yeah.
Now it just seems forced and like they just straight up say, "Oh, the sex is good."
Yeah.
Like,
And then they try to have Ray do it too to kind of like make a look. Oh, look, they're so perfect together. And then they break them up.
yep. I don't know. Like, plus, I feel like this season of Arrow tried to be something that
Not.
it was trying to be deeper than it was. Like for example, the mid-season finale
Yeah.
tried to make out as if Oliver is dead. We know he's not dead. Don't try to trick the audience into thinking the main character is dead or not, because we all know the main character is not dead.
And how he survived. Just pure will kept him alive from
Yep.
getting stabbed in the chest and falling down a mountain.
And then the penultimate episode basically try to do some Red Wedding type stuff, trying to be Game of Thrones. Oh, we have a wedding going on at the same time as the entire cast dying out. And like, who are they trying to fool? We know they're not gonna kill the entire cast.
What if one time they actually do it? No.
If they actually did do it, then I would not get the reaction that they wanted until the next episode.
Yeah.
Because I watched the end of that, the penultimate episode, and I was like, who are they kidding?
Yeah.
Because I 100% do not believe they're going to kill off all those characters. Not even one of them. I mean, the fact that they have them all in the same room and they're all main characters, they will not kill off any of them.
Yep.
So I'm like, do not insult me like that, show.
Plus, like,
do not insult me.
We knew of like Legends of Tomorrow, so we knew that Ray was gonna live.
Yep. So I mean, with that said, like they were trying to like be deeper and darker than what the show actually was.
And I think also Flash had something to do with it too. Like they just weren't as like dedicated to Flash as it was, or not Flash, Arrow as they were with Flash.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I mean, you've mentioned several times that Arrow, this season of Arrow started off
Very
slow, and then they picked it up at the very end.
They picked it up right when we talk about how Flash went on cruise control.
Yeah.
Coincidence? Maybe.
Maybe. Probably not, but maybe.
Maybe.
I don't know. What other show should we compare this to?
iZombie's still going, and Supergirl hasn't come out yet, so
Agent Carter, I guess we can compare to that, since that was the thing that happened.
yes.
I mean, Agent Carter, it was quick. Did you watch Agent Carter at all?
Yes.
Did you watch the whole thing?
Yes.
I think it was good, but it was just too quick.
Yeah.
It was like what, eight episodes long or so.
Yeah.
I still think that Flash was a more fun series than that, though. But I think Agent Carter did a good job with like the like having cameos to the rest of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Also, just kind of like set up the whole founding of S.H.I.E.L.D. in a way.
They also did the setup for like the whole Black Widow program and all that.
True. We can also... I don't really want to get into that because that's kind of a Marvel spoiler.
I really liked the actress of Agent Carter. I feel like she's very dynamic. Like she played multiple characters within the show, like because Agent Carter would go in disguise, and like the point that really had me was when she went under disguise as like a safety inspector or whatever she was. Like at that point, I was like, this girl has talent.
Yes. Also, kind of to me, it a little felt like Alias. Do you remember Alias?
I never watched Alias.
But the whole like
I remember it though, but I never watched
each episode. The main character's in a different disguise.
So
you know,
we should compare.
She's gonna be in Captain America: Civil War. That's all I'm gonna say about that.
You know, we should compare Flash to now.
What?
Smallville.
Oh my god.
Infinitely better.
Infinitely better. Okay, what better, Smallville or season 3 of Arrow?
Smallville had some cool moments.
Had
some cool moments, especially at the end when they had like the Justice League stuff going on.
Smallville, Green Arrow versus Arrow.
Stephen Amell Arrow is definitely better.
Yes.
He's more he has the better physique, as in looking like an actual superhero.
Yeah.
And like I think he's definitely the better actor.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay.
Is that all we got?
I'm trying to think. Yeah, that's all of DC.
All right. So let's start wrapping up the show. Do you want to make any shout outs?
Shout out to the fan that sent me the bobblehead.
Woo!
Whoever they are.
You don't know is like
no.
Did he message you or anything?
He just sent he sent me an email. That's it.
Oh, okay. All right.
And then he just said that he worked for DC, which also gets to the point. My ratings are not sponsored by DC. Just throw it out there.
See, this is why you get the free bobbleheads and I don't, because I get lower reviews.
I am being impartial in my rating system. That is not why I gave it a 9 out of 10.
But at one point, wasn't I giving higher reviews for Flash episodes than you?
Yes, you were. The way we started this off, you gave it higher ratings than I did.
Yeah. Because I really like the show, but then it just, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, but it just came and it's an Arrow pop figure. So.
Well, isn't what they call like Funko heads or something like that?
Yeah, the Funko ones. I haven't even got it out of the box yet.
Well, thank you, mystery person, for sending that to Eric.
Yes.
So let's wrap things up. If you enjoy what we've been hearing, support us by liking us on Facebook. You can follow us on Twitter. You can leave an iTunes review. You can contact us by email. That is capes@outofcontinues.com. You can subscribe to the YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/outofcontinues. Sorry. It's youtube.com/outofcontinues. All those things can be found on the website, which is www.outofcontinues.com/TV podcasts. You can give me a tweet. I am at Sayedstafa. That's at SAYEDSTAFA.
And I'm at emesker712, EMETZGER712.
And that should be it for this season of Flash, season 1. We will not make any promises as to whether we'll continue this for season 2 or not. Neither Eric and I know what our schedules are going to be like at that point, because I'm going to definitely have a different job by then. Eric, you might too.
Yes. With me, it's just I know for a fact I probably won't be living in the place where I'm living right now.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Same here. I'm moving soon, or at least I plan to. So we don't know what's going to be happening with us. So we're not going, because of that. We're not going to promise season 2 of Flash. In fact, if we continue doing this, who knows if we're even going to do Flash? We might be doing DC's Legends of Tomorrow.
Or it might be doing one gigantic one of just all the shows.
Yeah.
Make it easier.
So because of that, no promises yet. We'll definitely keep you guys up to date on when we do make a final ruling on what we will do, and hopefully you guys will continue to join us when we start making more episodes on whatever show we're gonna be watching.
Yep.
So with that said, I'm Staffa.
And I'm Eric.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah.